Hey, so I thought we'd have a little history lesson. Um, because history is sometimes confusing. Trump wants to go back to the Gilded Age, the Vanderbilts, the Rockefellers. People were poor as fuck back then. They were living in horrible tenements, um, working in factories 15 hours a day for almost no pay. If they tried to unionize, they would send in the Pinkertons to just fucking bust their skulls open. However, the wealthy people like the Vanderbilts and them were really fucking wealthy. They were rolling in fucking bank. They were Scrooge McDucking their way through their gold. But the rest of us, we didn't have shit. Now, you take that and you compare it with like the 1940s and 1950s post World War II, when we were actually at our wealthiest. We had the biggest boom in the middle class. Businesses were being made. I mean, people, it was just a good time. Even you guys want to go back to the fucking 1950s. You might want to look at what the top tax rates were for corporations back then, because they were 91%. And yet business was booming. That was when we had a huge manufacturing boom. And yet they were being taxed 91 fucking percent. What'd they do with all that money? They developed the middle class. And that is what made us so wealthy. And then we got into Nixon and Reaganomics. And we decided that taxing rich people was bad and that we should tax poor people instead. And that's why tax rates have gone down for very, very wealthy people and corporations, while we pick up more and more of the burden. Those of us stuck, we're not poor enough to shelter, to just not have enough money where we don't get to pay taxes, but we're damn sure not rich enough to be able to shelter any fucking money. I wouldn't even know what that shit looked like. We weren't our best during the Vanderbilt era. Mm-mm. The industrial boom was a really hard time for working people. They were living in slums. It was bad. And then we hit the 1940s and the 1950s. Things got a lot better. But we taxed them rich motherfuckers. And wow, turns out none of them went fucking broke.